Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, I hope that you're having a lovely day, and if you are my day ones, thank you so much for coming back. I have my struggle braids on. I usually put these braids when I know that I'm going to be in hibernation and have no idea whatsoever if anyone is going to be like, hey, you want to do something. And the reason why I do this is because when I undo, it's like a braid out essentially. When I undo the braids, I have like this nice wavy hair do that looks intentional but not really. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But before I take my hair down, I am going to oil my scalp, give it some love, especially when I have my hair sectioned out. It just makes sense. I'm just going to dip my fingers and, you know, apply this oil as I usually do. No, I'm done there. So earlier this year or last year, late last year actually, I met some girl at a wine tasting festival. It was a very nice experience. You know, we kind of hit it off from the get-go. We had a lot of things to talk about. We had a lot of things in common. Like, she's probably one of the most outspoken or well-spoken people I have ever met in my life, probably. And it's almost unreal that she would be capable of card fraud. Like, I don't see it. I still don't understand why. But even as I say this, if I'm being honest, there were a couple of red flags leading to this event that I just decided not to acknowledge, because I mean, again, I was still trying to give this person a benefit of a doubt. I think there was a time where she had asked me to please send her money into her account because her card was blocked because there hadn't been money in there, or she hadn't used the card in a long time, but she had money in there. She just needed money to activate the card, which is also strange because I don't recall my bank ever deactivating or blocking my cards because I haven't been using them for a while. Like, yeah, unless maybe some banks do it, but I just don't see why they would. I kind of brushed it off swiftly. I just was like, no, you know, I can't. Yeah, I just brushed it off because I also felt that, oh, by the way, this person and I had never actually met in person outside of the wine festival, wine tasting thing. So I just felt like it was a bit peculiar that she would come to me for money. I mean, yes, we'd been talking over the phone for a while, but surely you'd have closer friends, you'd have like a boyfriend, she has sisters. Like, I am still a stranger. Why are you asking me for money? I don't know if you guys have realized, but my locks aren't of the same length. I have some that are way longer than what they should be because I got extensions obviously, and it wasn't all in a single set. It was just a mix and match from different bundles. So I have situations like this where when I do the braid, I just have that one long lock sticking out, and usually I'll just wrap it around the braid and tie it in a knot or tuck it in, but this kind of got undone. I just wanted to explain that situation because I know it kind of looks messy. I think that's one of the reasons why I probably would never wear this as an actual style going out. Or maybe if I get somebody to do it for me, it'll probably look a lot cleaner and better, but me doing it, it just never looks nice enough to wear in public. So that's where we're at. So anyway, back to the story. Well, a few months down the line, she came back and asked that she get somebody to transfer money into my account, and I would do like an e-wallet or cash send transfer to her. I didn't understand the concept because why can't you just get this person sending me money to send you the e-wallet directly? Like, why should it go via me to get to you first? I honestly just blue ticked that message. I was just like, I don't have the energy to respond to this. I'm sure when she typed it, she knew that she was reaching, because it doesn't make sense. This person and I have known each other virtually for about, like, what, 6 months? Why do you need to come to me every single time when you have money situations? I don't think the world works that way. So I blue ticked her message and carried on with life, you know, and we kind of stopped talking for a few weeks, and then after that we rekindled again. We're gelling so well over the phone. Maybe it's just high time that you and I actually have a date, you know. Let's meet, let's chill. This is what I'm talking about. So every time when I put these braids in, I know that I'm gonna have a kick-ass braid out, and I feel like the longer you wear the braids, the more defined and the longer your braid out will last. But obviously you can just wait until your hair is completely dry. That way the braid out or the waves and curls will hold. Yeah, I love this. I love this so much. Some H2O. So wow guys, the day finally, in fact it was actually a rush thing when she insisted that she come see me. So I sent her my address and she calls an Uber, comes through. So I walk up to the gate and I meet her there, and this person has an overnight bag. I think she saw my expression, my facial expression, because I was so fixated on this overnight bag. I was so baffled because I didn't recall a moment where I had said or we had agreed on having a sleepover. Like, it was literally just to have lunch and chill, and she didn't have any pizza with her like she said she would, or beer. But you know, it's the days of Uber Eats and bottles and stuff, so stuff like that you can really just order to where you order online to be delivered. So she says to me, don't worry, I'm not here to stay. I'm gonna go see my boyfriend later. He's gonna pick me up from here. And I want you to keep note of that, because things get really shady later on. Okay, great, we chill, we talk. Like, we hit it off like instantly. You know, we had some really great conversations. It was nice. It was really dope. An hour passes, 2 hours pass, and how this person's not even saying anything about the beer and the pizza. Maybe she, you know, it's gonna happen, but also it's getting dark. We're supposed to have lunch. It's around like 2, 3 now, and this person is not gonna stay over, so when are we gonna actually have the pizza and the beer? But you know what, I'm like, I'm the host in this case, and I was also very hungry at that time. Like, you know what, let me just order. I ordered the pizza. No, I'm lying. I ordered beer. I ordered the beer. The beer arrived. You know, we sat and we drank, because my assumption was if I buy one thing, maybe she would buy the other, because it was supposed to be a beer and pizza date. So, you know, let's try to make the moves, but she never got the message. So yeah, we drank the beer, and then around like 6-ish, 6:30, she says, yo, I want sweets. And I'm like, okay, I'm not too crazy for sweets, it's not my thing. Do you want us to go buy sweets maybe? And she's like, yeah, no, we can do that. I'm like, but also I just moved here. I don't really know where the nearest store is besides where I usually buy my groceries, which is what, 10-15 minutes drive away from where I stay. She's like, this place, man, I've stayed in this neighborhood before. I know that there's a shop down the road, so we can just go there. Okay, fine. You know, I grab my wallet, she grabs hers. Great indication, first of all. So I took my card out of my wallet, because if we're gonna be walking, you kind of don't want to be holding your entire wallet with you. So I just took my card, and she placed her card holder on the bed. So I was like, well, I mean, I'm taking my card out of my wallet and leaving the whole wallet, so she's probably doing the same thing, you know, it makes sense. Yeah, so as we get out of the room, heading for the kitchen, I asked, so how are we getting there? She had assumed that I would drive us there, but I wasn't about that life either. I don't like driving at night, and even so, like, no, like, we're not even gonna start a relationship on that level. So she looks at her phone, she's like, shit, my phone is dead, and quickly plugs it on the charger. And I just figured, if she's doing that, it means that she is not intending to call an Uber or Taxify or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine, then I guess we're walking. And that's what we did. Halfway, oh my gosh, halfway to the store, she says, holy shit, I think I left my card holder on the bed. She pats her pockets like, nah, man, I think I have cash on me. I'm like, oh, okay, great. So we get to the store, I pick up the eggs and the bread, and she picks up the snacks that she wanted. Well, she also offered to buy what I would want to eat. I'm like, no, man, I'll eat whatever, just because this is your turf. Just pick whatever you will enjoy, and I'll just indulge with you, you know. I go forward, I pay for my stuff, and then she comes back and pays for her stuff, and then we walk back. So I took my card out of the jacket that I was wearing, the jacket pocket that I was wearing. Yeah. How do you wear a jacket pocket? So I took my card out of the pocket of the jacket I was wearing and put it into a different jacket's pocket. And as I went back to accompany, she looks at her phone and like, oh my word, and exclaims, oh my word, my phone wasn't actually charging and it's been off. What if my boyfriend has been trying to contact me? So I'm like, man, then charge your phone, you'll see messages, you know, you'll get back to him, try to call him again and all of that. And she tries calling the guy a couple of times, but still no answer, until the guy finally calls her back. The guy was actually very, very angry and very, very aggressive, telling her that she's full of shit, that he went to her place to go see her, but she wasn't there, and she wasn't picking up her phone when he tried to call her. Which, if you remember, is very strange, because when she got to me, she told me that she's not sleeping over, that her boyfriend was going to pick her up from my place. But at that time, I kind of didn't think of that. You know, she was hysterical. We were now talking about breakup and, you know, F you, this, that. And I was also hysterical, like, oh my word, calm down. This, like, I wasn't even trying to connect stories or anything. This thought just came to me way afterwards, when I tried to make sense of what actually happened with the whole card thing. So she goes outside and speaks to her boyfriend for a while, calms him down. They spoke for about like 15-20 minutes, and mind you, right now it's around Boma like 9 going to 10, and I'm thinking, this person is fighting with her boyfriend who was supposed to pick her up, and now the boyfriend is threatening to break up with her. Is she still gonna go to him? Is he still gonna pick her up? Is she gonna go back to her place? What's gonna happen? But again, I mean, she conveniently had a sleepover bag, so I guess we kind of know how that story played out. So she ended up sleeping over at my place, and the next morning I actually had to leave my place and go meet a friend about, I think, probably, I want to say an hour return trip, so to go there and back. And I woke up in the morning, so I told her like, okay, this is a bit awkward. I mean, what's going on? We're supposed to have lunch, and I understand what happened yesterday, you know, like I have plans today. So, and I was asking these things because I got out of bed and she stayed in my bed. So I was just like, she didn't look like somebody who was moving or who intended to move or get out of bed anytime soon. So it was just like bruh, like we didn't agree to this, we didn't plan for this, and you don't know what my plans are for the day. Like, can you also be considerate? You know what's going on. So she remarks that it's actually a good thing that her boyfriend didn't pick her up yesterday, because she actually has training somewhere nearby, and it would make more sense for her to leave the next day being Monday, to go to the training site, than it would have for her to leave her boyfriend's place to go to the training site. Like, it was going to be logistically easy and cheaper and stuff like that. So I didn't even want to comment on that. I honestly I was just like, I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't hear anything that you just said, because I can see where this is going. So now this person is in my house, and first of all, they didn't even buy pizza. I actually bought pizza. I ended up buying the pizza because, again, it's my house, I'm hungry, and I didn't really have food in the house, so it means now I can't eat because she's here, so I kind of have to cater for everybody else. And it pissed me off, because it's just like, this is honestly so inconsiderate. I understand the drama that happened yesterday, but you have the entire Sunday to sort your life out, but you still want to burden me with you being in my space till Monday, and you don't know what my life on Monday is. I also have to work, plus I work from home. So now I would have to have meetings at 7 a.m. in the morning, and now I have to deal with the fact that you go to work at maybe like 10 or whatever time you go to work. Like, it was just, you know, yeah, it was a very long story short, I just said okay, and then I stepped into the shower. And I remember coming out of the shower, I was like, you know what, actually I'm thinking about this, and no, like, I understand that you had to sleep over last night because things were a bit chaotic, and that whole situation was honestly unplanned for. I also wouldn't know what to do if I was in that spot, and also understood as a friend, like, you probably wouldn't want to be by yourself after that whole fiasco that just happened. But for you to continue to ask to sleep over on a Sunday when you haven't even inquired what plans I had today, you know, just because you don't have anything to do now that your boyfriend is unavailable doesn't necessarily mean that I didn't have my day planned. Even last night, actually, because we just had lunch, I could have had to go to my boyfriend's place. I could have had to do anything between the hours past lunchtime till the morning that we're actually talking. Like, you haven't been considerate of me at all. So I'm like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I have stuff that I want to do. And then she said, like, her excuse, she so quick, she was like, hey, you know, the thing is, I'm stressed because where I stay there isn't any electricity and water, and I have this training thing very early in the morning. And I was just like, you've been at my place since noon yesterday. How do you know that you don't have water and electricity at your house right now? Especially when you're saying that it's not like a schedule, like it's not a whole load shedding scheduled thing. how I was, you know, excuses. So I was like, yeah, I understand, but also like, bro, you don't know what my story is. I have plans. I have somewhere that I need to go right now as we speak in the morning. Somebody's waiting for me somewhere. And she was like, ah, no, it's fine, because I have a lot of work to do. You know, I can just stay here and wait for you and leave your place at around 5 when water and electricity is presumably going to be back at her apartment building. So by the time you get back, you know, I would have at least gotten some work done and get at 5 or leave at 5. I was frustrated because I didn't know what to do. Like, this person was making me feel bad for demanding to have control over my space. Like, I felt like I was actually being emotionally manipulated by this person. Like, it's first the boyfriend, now it's water, then it's this, that. Like, it was just a lot. I just got irritated and I did the dumbest thing of them all. I literally left this person in my house for an hour by themselves, unattended. A stranger that I have known on WhatsApp for 6 months left. Like, this person could have literally called a truck, packed all of my furniture, my work computer, everything that I own. Oh wow, guys, she could have taken every single thing that I own in that hour and left. Where would I find her? Who would I ask? When I left, I was already sick in my stomach because I was like, I don't know what this person is gonna do. I already felt some type of way, but I was just scared, or I didn't want to be confrontational, or I didn't want to seem like I didn't want to be rude to say like, yeah, we've been connecting, but truth is you and I are not that well acquainted. We're still strangers, so I'm not comfortable with leaving you in my house unattended, you know. And honestly, I think any reasonable person would take that well, but for some reason I just felt like if I took it there, it was gonna be a whole other drama that I wasn't prepared for. And I was already under pressure with my other friend because I had to go pick up stuff from her as well. Like, it was a mess. But yeah, when I got back, I called my boyfriend. I was like, bruh, there's this girl who I kind of thought I liked because I thought we had this whole friendship thing going, but I feel like she's really overstepping my boundaries, or my non-existent boundaries, because I wasn't really, boy, like, busy pepper rattling, and I'm not even doing my hair anymore. But yeah, I told him like, look, there's this girl in my apartment, like, I don't know how to get rid of her, and it seems like this person doesn't intend on leaving, but like there's no way that this person is gonna sleep over my apartment again. My boyfriend and I devised a plan that I should tell her that he is coming, and he's coming to sleep over, you know, just to try and get her to leave, you know, just in case she came up with another excuse. So I got into the phone, speaking over the phone, be like, hey babe, yeah, no, so what time are you gonna come, what do you want to do, you know, stuff like that, because I didn't have the courage to tell her that my boyfriend was coming. So I thought if she overheard me on the phone, you know, she would be quick about her life. I'd honestly be lying if I told you I knew where, how, when she actually stole my credit card details. But I suspect that when I got back, I left my handbag on my desk, and it had my wallet and thingy. It had my wallet which had my cards in them. And I sat outside on the balcony just to give her some privacy in my own home. Some privacy, you know, because she was getting ready to leave. So I suspect that when I was sitting outside, she kind of went through my bag and either took a picture of my card details and stuff. So now, cutting that whole situation short, because that's just really speculation at that point, This is how I found out that shit was getting really real quick. I think it was 4:40, 20 to 5 on Sunday, so the next day. And she had said that she would, or she'd asked to please leave at 5, because that's when the electricity and water would presumably be back where she stays. So my boyfriend arrives, so now I'm comfortable and confident that she will leave by 5. And it's so weird because for somebody who talks a lot, when my boyfriend came, she was silent as a mouse. Like, she literally stood by the wall like she was being executed, and she had her head down, nothing, silence. You know that whole only speak when spoken to? That was her whole vibe. But yeah, so she orders am I allowed to say names? She orders a Bolt. And as I walk her to the gate, I get a weird message from Bolt. When they take R1 out of your account and then put it back to activate a card. So I see that and I'm like, hey man, guys, I haven't used Bolt in, I think, since April this year. And we're like, I think it was June when all of this thing was happening. July. Like, I haven't used Bolt since April. Why am I seeing Bolt notifications on my phone? You know, but I figured maybe they're just checking to see if my card is still active, you know, like maybe it's just a routine check thing. And then I just mize. And I get into the car with my boyfriend, we go to his place, and on the way there, I see a bill of 21 Rand or something dumb like that. And then I'm like, hi man. And it's round about the time that she left. Why is Bolt debiting my account? Like, and I was thinking maybe I but dialed or but ordered a Bolt, and then the Bolt driver was waiting for me, and then he, like, I was trying to come up with reasoning why I was seeing these things happening on my account. Yeah, and we kind of just sat baffled in the car, and I tried to, so I kind of see all of these things happening, and I'm trying to come up with a logical explanation on why they could be, because I mean, it's like, what's going on, huh, all of a sudden? So my boyfriend gets very concerned, and he decides to park the car on the side of the road. He's like, no, this is dodgy. I suspect that friend of yours maybe is using your card and stuff. And I'm like, no, but why would she do that? Like, what reasons would she do that for? Then he's like, why not take any chances? And yeah, he parked on the side of the car. Like, we literally blocked all of my bank cards, all of my bank cards in that moment. 5 seconds after we activated the last temporary block, yo guys, I started getting messages saying a certain transaction declined because of a temporary block. I think there was like 5 of those messages. So we call FNB fraud line, but they weren't available conveniently. And the next day I called them, try and find out what was going on, and apparently there were other transactions being carried out on the account, but because the card was blocked, they couldn't let me know to what value those were, because they kind of, like, when a card declines vibe, like, it didn't really happen. They're just letting me know that, you know, if you are genuinely trying to buy something right now and you're like, you need to unblock your card situation. So I then go further and try and investigate this whole Bolt thing to try and understand, okay, man, like, because I wanted to understand, like, what's going on, who's this, you know, what do I need to do, blah blah, you know, all of that. I wanted to confirm my suspicion, or our suspicion, that this person actually tried to do me dirty. So I messaged Bolt, like, yo guys, there's a trip that just went off my account and I haven't ordered a Bolt, like, what's going on? So they asked for a printout of my bank statement where the transaction reflected. So I got that from the bank and then I sent it to them. And obviously for consumer protection, they couldn't explicitly tell me who it is, but they told me that a person whose number ends with these 4 digits and first name is this activated or is using this card on their app, and if I want them to stop using my card, I would need to speak to the person who's using them and ask them to stop using my card or go block my card. So I'm thinking, bruh, if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you that somebody's defrauding me right now and you're telling me to go to the person who is committing fraud against me, to ask them nicely and politely to please stop performing this fraudulent activities in my name. Like, I was just so baffled, but I, you know, reading more into it and researching more into it, that's just how business is conducted. And I was so irritated because when I actually checked my Bolt app, the card that was being used on this girl's phone wasn't even the one that I use on my thing. You know, and that could have probably been the first point of reference, but I guess it was just a mess. It was just a mess. But yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to open a fraud thing against her because the amount was too little, which is also odd because my thing is, if somebody's caught red-handed doing fraud, like, what was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to allow her to maybe withdraw my entire salary and my savings out of my account for it to be a case that holds? Like, and if this person is doing this, it means that they've probably done it before and they're probably gonna do it again, you know? Long story short, I end up having to go replace my bank cards. So next time, kids, please do not invite strangers into your home. And I wouldn't necessarily say don't leave your cards unattended, because I guess, well, my wallet was unattended, but like the first and most thing would be to not to invite strangers into your home, and I guess not to leave your belongings unattended with strangers. And also, if you find yourself in a similar situation, honestly, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to block your cards, if possible, switch bank accounts, because the police are not gonna help you really, depending on how much you've been defrauded. The bank won't be able to help you beyond you blocking your cards. Whatever service provider is involved or is being used in this whole fraudulent activity won't be able to help you because of Consumer Protection Act. They are required by law to keep people's information private unless they're being maybe subpoenaed by the law and stuff. So yeah, it's sad, really. Yeah, Befriended, guys, thank you so much for literally watching me braid my hair. How gorgeous is this braid out? The waves and curls are so defined, and it's just, I love it. And this usually lasts me for, well, until my next wash, really. Obviously, the longer you wear it, the curls will probably lose that tightness, but with Locs, this honestly will last you until you spray water into your hair. So yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for listening to my story. I look forward to hearing some of your stories in the comment section, or maybe like just give me advice next time I try to make friends on how I should conduct myself so that I don't become victim of criminal acts. I love you guys so much. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure that you share it with your friends and family. Who knows, they might even find themselves, hopefully not. I hope that they never find themselves in a similar situation, but should they ever, please make sure that they watch this video so they know all the things not to do from my experience. And And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be having a lot more awesome videos coming up. Until next time, I love you guys so much. Bye.